The Road to Success, a 50-minute motivational story. Scene 1. The storm within, 0 to 5 o'clock. A dark, stormy night. Ethan sits in his dimly lit apartment, staring at his laptop screen filled with rejection emails. His dream of starting a business seems impossible. Ethan had always dreamed of building something great, but after months of trying, all he had were rejections, failures, and self-doubt. His savings were almost gone, and the pressure was unbearable. Suddenly, his phone buzzed, another lone rejection. Frustrated, he slammed the laptop shut. "Maybe I'm just not meant for this," he muttered. But deep inside, a voice whispered, "Not yet. You haven't given everything." Scene 2. The first step, 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Ethan walks through the rain, lost in thought. The city lights reflect off the wet pavement as he recalls his father's advice. Ethan's father always said, "Success isn't about how many times you fall, but how many times you rise." He looked at the empty streets and made a decision: he wouldn't quit. He would start again, from scratch. With newfound determination, he rushed home, opened his laptop, and started working on a new business plan. Scene 3. The Test of Faith, 10 o'clock to 1500. Flashback. Ethan sits in his empty office, looking at his phone with a rejected loan application. Shadows fill the room, symbolizing failure. Starting over wasn't easy. Ethan reached out to dozens of investors, but every meeting ended with, "No, it's too risky." He felt like he was drowning in failure. His team started leaving, and doubt crept in again. Was this the end? But he refused to surrender. He had one last plan. Scene 4. The Breakthrough, 1500 to 2000. Ethan sits in a co-working space with his small team, discussing ideas. A whiteboard behind them is filled with notes and diagrams. Instead of begging investors, Ethan focused on proving his idea worked. He and his small team worked day and night, creating a prototype. They tested, failed, and improved. After months of struggle, they finally had something worth showing. This was their moment. Scene 5. The Setback, 2025. Ethan sits at his desk, looking at his phone with a shocked expression. An email on the screen says, "Investment withdrawn." Just when things were looking up, disaster struck. Their biggest potential investor backed out at the last moment. It felt like a punch to the gut. His team looked at him, waiting for his reaction. He had two choices: give up, or fight harder. Ethan took a deep breath and said, "We're not stopping. We'll find another way." Scene 6. The Leap of Faith, 25-00-30-00. Ethan sits across from an investor in a modern office, passionately pitching his idea. The investor listens carefully, considering the proposal. With no options left, Ethan decided to take a risk. He cold emailed 50 investors with just one sentence: "Give me 10 minutes to change your mind." One replied. Sitting across from the investor, Ethan gave the most passionate pitch of his life. He spoke not just of business but of vision, resilience, and purpose. The investor smiled. "Let's do it." Scene 7. The Moment of Truth, 30-00-35-00. Ethan and his team anxiously watch a computer screen displaying the live launch of their product. This was it. Months of blood, sweat, and sleepless nights came down to this one launch. The screen refreshed. The first order came in. Then another, and another. The room exploded with cheers. They did it. Scene 8. The Victory, 35-00-40-00. Ethan and his team cheer as they see their product trending online. Celebration fills the office. Within weeks, their product went viral. Orders poured in. Investors who had rejected Ethan were now calling him. His team had grown, and so had his confidence. He had turned failure into success. But more than success, he had proved one thing: never give up. Scene 9. Looking back, 40-00-45-00. Ethan sits on a rooftop at sunset, looking at the city skyline. He holds an old rejection letter in one hand and a success report in the other. Sitting alone, Ethan looked at the skyline, remembering the nights of doubt, fear, and struggle. In one hand, an old rejection letter. In the other, a success report. He smiled. This is just the beginning. Scene 10. The next chapter, 45-00-50-00. Ethan stands on a stage, delivering a motivational speech to a packed audience. Years later, Ethan stood on a grand stage, looking at thousands of young dreamers. "I was once where you are," he said. "Lost, rejected, struggling. But I learned that success isn't about avoiding failure, it's about refusing to quit." The crowd erupted in applause. Your dreams are worth fighting for. Keep going. One day, you'll stand here too. Final message: success isn't about luck, it's about persistence, resilience, and never giving up. Ethan's story isn't unique, it's the story of every person who chooses to fight for their dreams. If you're struggling, remember, your road to success starts now. Keep going. End of story. This 50-minute motivational story is ready for your YouTube video. Let me know if you need any edits or enhancements.